Ladies and gentlemen, friends in the golden chapter of life, let me begin with a truth sharper than any blade. The first hour of your day is the rudder of your life. No matter your age, how you begin your morning determines your direction. But after 70, the stakes are higher and the habits even more powerful. There's a dangerous myth whispered to the elderly that aging is a slow surrender. I say nonsense. It is a time of refinement, clarity, and inner strength. Waking up without a mission is like setting sail with no destination. You drift aimlessly and let the current decide your course. For people over 70, this is particularly dangerous, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. The retirement years are often framed as a time of rest, but in truth, they are a time of reflection, contribution, and renewed purpose. A life without intention begins to lose its spark, and that loss of direction can quietly erode one's motivation, mental clarity, and emotional resilience. Every morning presents a fresh opportunity to create meaning. It doesn't require grand ambitions. A simple goal, like calling a friend, walking to the park, writing a memory down, or even completing a small household task, can give your day shape and value. The human spirit thrives on forward motion, no matter how small. And when we rise with a sense of mission, we signal to our subconscious that life still has work to be done, lessons to teach, and joy to be found. People often think purpose belongs to the young or the employed, but wisdom teaches otherwise. At 70 and beyond, your purpose may shift from doing to being asterisk, from chasing careers to sharing stories, from building wealth to nurturing connection. That shift makes your morning intention even more vital. It becomes a declaration, I am still here and I still matter. The mind needs structure like the body needs movement. Without it, we fall into monotony or despair. But with a mission, no matter how humble, we awaken to the day with a sense of control, contribution, and quiet power. You are never too old to set a new intention, and every morning is a fresh page. Begin it with purpose, and you give your life its sharpest edge. As we age, the temptation to slow down can quietly transform into a dangerous habit of inactivity. After 70, the body naturally changes. Muscles weaken, joints stiffen, and energy may decline. But that does not mean we should surrender to stillness. In fact, movement becomes more essential than ever. Skipping physical activity, especially in the morning, sends a signal to the body and brain that the day is meant for idleness, and over time, that pattern can accelerate physical decline and mental fog. The morning offers a powerful window for setting the tone of the entire day. When we begin with even modest movement, gentle stretches, a short walk, light yoga, or deep breathing, we reawaken circulation, loosen our joints, and signal to the brain that we are still active participants in life. This simple act also releases endorphins, improves mood, and enhances mental alertness. It doesn't require athleticism or youth. It requires intention. Movement is not just about physical health. It's deeply tied to emotional and cognitive well-being. People who maintain a morning movement routine often report better sleep, sharper thinking, and greater emotional resilience. It also reinforces independence, a crucial factor for those who want to continue living life on their own terms. The ability to move freely is a gift, and each day we honor it through motion, we preserve it. The danger lies in believing that slowing down is inevitable. In truth, the less we move, the more we lose. On the other hand, when we choose to move with purpose, even just a few minutes each morning, we claim ownership over our vitality. No matter your age or limitations, there is always a way to move. Begin your day by engaging your body, and you will find your mind and spirit follow. What we feed our minds in the first moments of the day has a powerful ripple effect. For those over 70, this influence becomes even more critical. The early hours set the emotional and mental tone, and yet many unknowingly begin their day with a dose of negativity, turning on distressing news, revisiting regrets, or engaging in inner criticism. This quiet habit can be toxic. It sets the stage for anxiety, low energy, and a sense of helplessness. The mind, especially in later years, becomes more reflective and sensitive. It absorbs emotional input deeply, and the quality of those inputs matters greatly. The brain doesn't retire with the body. It continues to respond to what we give it. If the first thing it receives is stress or sadness, it will shape the rest of the day with that same color. Over time, this can lead to chronic negativity, disconnection, and even depression. But the good news is that the reverse is also true. If we begin the day with thoughts that uplift, reassure, and inspire, we begin to rewire our mental patterns toward hope and clarity. Instead of reaching for the television, remote, or scanning headlines filled with fear, consider feeding your mind something nourishing: a favorite poem, a passage of spiritual wisdom, a moment of silence, or even simply naming 3 things you're grateful for. These practices may seem small, but they carry immense power. They protect your peace, reinforce your resilience, and gently shape your mindset. The world may offer chaos, but you still hold the power to choose your focus. By starting your morning with positive, intentional thoughts, you reclaim that power and fortify your spirit. Every day is a new chance to teach your mind where to look, and it always follows your lead. As we grow older, one of the most overlooked yet dangerous habits is slipping into isolation. After 70, changes in lifestyle, retirement, health, or the loss of loved ones can slowly shrink our social circles. The danger lies not in being alone occasionally, but in allowing disconnection to become the norm. Human beings are wired for connection, emotionally, spiritually, and even physically. When we stop interacting regularly with others, we begin to lose an essential part of what keeps us mentally and emotionally alive. Social connection isn't just about having company. It stimulates the brain, reinforces memory, provides emotional support, and offers a sense of belonging. A simple conversation, a shared laugh, or even a warm greeting can ignite the mind and lift the spirit. Without this regular exchange, many people begin to feel invisible, as if the world is moving on without them. This can lead to sadness, cognitive decline, and a deep sense of loneliness that affects both mental and physical health. But the solution is always within reach. Connection doesn't need to be complicated or grand. It starts with a daily act of reaching out, calling a friend, chatting with a neighbor, sending a message to a family member, or joining a local group or class. Even small, consistent interactions can make a profound difference. They remind us that we are seen, valued, and still part of something greater than ourselves. You carry a lifetime of stories, wisdom, and experiences. Sharing them isn't just good for you, it enriches others. Don't wait for people to come to you. Be the one who reaches out. Each day you choose connection, you reinforce the truth that you still matter and that your presence is a gift. Relationships are the threads that hold our lives together. Keep weaving. How we begin our morning shapes how we experience the rest of the day. For those over 70, this principle becomes especially powerful. After decades of structured living, through careers, raising families, and meeting responsibilities, retirement can sometimes feel like drifting in open waters without a map. Without a clear rhythm or intentional start to the day, it's easy to fall into habits of passivity, where time slips by and motivation weakens. The first hour after waking holds immense influence. It's not just about what you do, but how you claim your sense of control and purpose. When you start your morning without direction, you leave your energy and focus at the mercy of whatever distractions come your way. This might look like excessive television, mindless routines, or simply waiting for the day to pass. Over time, this lack of structure can erode self-worth and lead to feelings of uselessness or even depression. On the other hand, when you take ownership of your morning, even in simple ways, you declare to yourself and the world that your time still matters, and so do you. Creating a morning routine doesn't require strict rules or complexity. It could be as gentle as rising at the same time each day, enjoying a quiet cup of tea, stretching your body, reading something meaningful, or writing a few lines in a journal. These small acts form a ritual that gives rhythm to your day and engages your mind and body from the start. The morning is your opportunity to set the tone with intention rather than inertia. You have the power to choose how your day begins. Don't let your schedule be an accident. When you begin each day with clarity and purpose, you reclaim control and invite meaning into every moment that follows. There is a harmful belief that after a certain age, growth is no longer possible. Many people over 70 have been quietly conditioned to think their time for change, learning, or personal breakthroughs has passed. But the truth is this: as long as you are breathing, you are still becoming. The later years of life are not a slow decline, but a chance for deep refinement. The mind remains capable of transformation, the heart continues to feel deeply, and the spirit can grow wiser with every sunrise. Age brings challenges, yes, but it also brings clarity. You now have the advantage of perspective, of knowing what truly matters. This wisdom allows for a different kind of growth, not driven by ambition or speed, but by insight and purpose. You may not be chasing careers or climbing ladders, but you are perfectly placed to share, to reflect, to guide, and to evolve. Growth at this stage is less about doing more and more about becoming more present, more compassionate, more accepting of life's beauty and brevity. Too often, people stop setting goals or trying new things simply because of a number. But history is filled with examples of people who created, wrote, mentored, invented, and inspired well into their 70s, 80s, and beyond. What they shared in common wasn't youth, it was belief. The belief that they still had something to offer and something to gain. That belief is the spark that ignites purpose and energy at any age. There is no expiration date on personal growth. Every morning is a new beginning, and every day holds the potential for insight, connection, joy, or discovery. The journey is not over, it is simply entering its most thoughtful and meaningful chapter. Keep growing. The best part of you may still be unfolding.